Do you remember the first time you got a migraine attack? I do. I'm Martina, I'm a health coach, and I'm a migraine and headache expert. And today I want to tell you about my first migraine and also why remembering the first time is helpful. It gives you some clues, but it doesn't tell you everything that you need to know in order to overcome it. So let me tell you the story. 12-year-old with the class of my school, we were in the mountains in Austria skiing. I didn't like heights, so I was terrified to have to ski. But I went to the beginner's course on really small slopes. It was okay. I was coping with it. I was dealing with it. But then the last day we had this big excursion onto the biggest mountain there, and I remember going up that lift, and down there it was so far down, my feet with the skis dangling in nothing, and then on top having to get off that lift, and there was this icy white spread like area where there was nothing, and I was so frightened. And then we had to go down that first really, really steep slope, and I started to go into this plow movement. You know, you go down like this, so it breaks you, which I had learned, and I was okay before. But all of a sudden, I panicked. Everybody was already down on the bottom of that slope, waiting for me, and I panicked. I couldn't do it. So I went sideways down. You know, everybody probably laughing at me. I felt so stupid, but I was so frightened. I didn't care. I just wanted to get down there. And then the rest, I don't remember. Somehow I got down these whatever 1,000 meters. And then when we walked back from the lift to our hostel, I felt this pounding pain and I felt so sick. When we were back at the hostel, there was a big party, like the last evening of our skiing week. And I just remember laying in bed, in my bunk bed, and one friend of school, Inga, she was with me and being by my side and helping me because I didn't know what was wrong. I was really seriously worried. I had something really serious, this pain. I've never experienced it. And I felt also so sick. So that was the first one. I remember that. And I always thought, okay, I got stressed on that mountain. It must have been the stress. And with 12-year-old, I was like a teenager already, you know, hormones all over the place. All the years after that, I thought, okay, you know, stress hormones, that must be it. And whenever I got another migraine after that, and they kept coming, I thought it was the stress. Until it got really bad between the year 2000, 2007. I was working, you know, in a big corporate telecommunications company as a team leader and project manager, and really stressful and demanding. And every weekend I would lay down with a migraine, unable to do anything, unable to go out with my friends, with my boyfriend, and having to lay in my room with in a dark room. Painkillers did sometimes work, but mostly not. So it normally meant losing and wasting 1 or 2 days out of the week, which is, a lot of life wasted. But then suddenly in 2007, for some other reason, because I wanted to lose some weight, I changed my diet and I did not eat certain things like gluten-containing foods, and anyway, not so many carbs or simple carbs, not at all, no sugars, and some other things I reduced or cut down. And after a few weeks, I realized, hey, I haven't had a migraine. So it was really that realization, all of a sudden realizing it's kind of gone or less. And that's when I started to really study nutrition and how food impacts everything in our body. It's our fuel. So it's like, you put diesel in a car that runs with petrol, with normal benzene, then it wouldn't work. It would break. And it's the same with our bodies. That's why I became a health coach, because I wanted to help people to know about this and help them through the weeks where you change your food and help them get better again. But I also noticed that I do still sometimes get migraines and headaches. And often when I look back, sometimes it's the food, because you are human, and then reach for things that you shouldn't eat. And if I do that too much, then I get a migraine. But also sometimes it happens when I have been eating, the right stuff, healthy as far as I'm concerned. And then I get a migraine attack or a bad headache. And then I realize when I look inside that there is some stress related there. And so as a health coach, I look at both sides. I look at nutrition of my clients, and we work out a plan that works for them as an individual, because everybody's different, to see what foods would be good for them and what changes they can apply. And we do this gently, step by step, not to overwhelm them. And also we do look at lifestyle, at your self-care, because that's really important. And generally, the other areas in life, they are also like food for us, emotional food. So these are very important. And that's also a very huge part of my work with my clients. And so why is then the first time that you have your migraine not the only answer? Well, it gives you the answer. In my case, it was the stress, which is really a part of it. But the other one, the food, I recognized later. So, it gives you a clue, but the whole answer lays in the whole picture as a human being, everything that makes us, consists in our life is important. So we look at that. If you feel like this could be something for you, if you've tried everything and nothing worked, and you're really at the end of your wits and you want to really try a last thing, a natural thing, which is changing nutrition, changing your behavior in life, how you stand in life, then reach out to me. You can go on my website, www.martinabrüggemann.com. I will link this underneath this video. You can sign up for a strategy session with me for free, and where within 30 minutes we will talk about where you are now, where you will want to get, what is your biggest problem, and see if I can help you and if it would be a good match. Because I only work with people that are determined to put everything, give it their all to succeed and get better. And if you want to start small with a self-study, some tips from me, then you can also find a sign-up form on my website where you can download then my 5 tips for, a headache and migraine-free life. So see what fits for you. I would love to be able to help you, and wish you a great day. Thanks for watching.